sun began its slow descent, painting the sky in soft hues of gold and amber. The small suburban neighborhood, nestled in the heart of a quiet town, felt at peace, almost like a living postcard. The streets, lined with cozy homes, were dotted with children laughing as they ran through sprinklers or kicked a soccer ball around. Birds fluttered between the trees, their songs blending with the distant hum of traffic. The scent of fresh-cut grass lingered in the air, and the day seemed to promise no surprises, just another ordinary afternoon in an ordinary world. But as the warm sunlight filtered through the leaves and bathed the sidewalks in its golden glow, something unusual was quietly taking shape. The soft whisper of the wind carried with it an unspoken promise. Today, things would change. Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur known for his innovations in space exploration, electric cars, and renewable energy, was, for once, driving alone. It was a rare moment of solitude, one that he had come to cherish. With his typical schedule filled to the brim with meetings, press conferences, and relentless work on projects like SpaceX and Tesla, he had little time for reflection, much less for a peaceful drive through an unassuming neighborhood. The stress of the past few days, endless pitches, back-to-back meetings, and nonstop brainstorming sessions had left him yearning for a break. He needed to disconnect, even if just for a few minutes, from the chaos that was his life. And so, he found himself driving through the streets of a modest town, far from the towering glass buildings of Silicon Valley, where the weight of the world was not pressing on his shoulders. It was here, among these quiet streets and well-worn homes, that Elon hoped to find something he hadn't known he was searching for. As he cruised down the street, the sight of something unexpected caught his eye. At the corner of the block, tucked beside a row of houses, stood a small lemonade stand. The stand itself was nothing more than a few wooden planks nailed together, haphazardly painted in bright, cheery colors. It was humble, perhaps even a little shabby, but it was the handwritten sign that caught Elon's attention. Oliver's Lemonade, 50 cents, help me reach the stars. He couldn't help but smile. The last part of the sign intrigued him. Reach the stars. It was a dream, a grand vision, and one that resonated deeply with him. In a world where most children were content with simple pleasures, this boy's ambition reached beyond the limits of Earth itself. There was something about the innocence of it, the pure aspiration to aim for the heavens, that stirred something inside him. Elon slowed the car, then pulled up to the curb, parking his Tesla beside the stand. He stepped out, his polished shoes making a soft sound on the pavement as he approached the stand. The boy behind the counter looked up with wide eyes, startled at the sight of a stranger. Yet his expression softened quickly into a wide grin. The boy was small, no older than 9, and his appearance was as unassuming as the lemonade stand itself. His blonde hair was messy, as though he'd just rolled out of bed, and his cheeks were smudged with a little dirt from the day's play. But there was something about his eyes, bright and full of energy, that captured Elon's attention. In them, Elon saw a reflection of his own childhood, the same curiosity, the same unrelenting desire to understand the world and make a difference. "Hello, sir. Would you like some lemonade?" Oliver asked, his voice full of excitement and energy. There was no hesitation, no nerves, just a genuine eagerness to share his creation with a potential customer. Elon looked at the makeshift stand. The dented pitcher was half filled with lemonade, and a stack of flimsy plastic cups sat nearby. The setup was simple, maybe even a little sloppy, but it radiated authenticity. The boy clearly wasn't in it for the business. He was here because of something much bigger. "I think I would," Elon said with a grin, stepping up to the stand. "Tell me, Oliver, what's this about reaching the stars?" Oliver's face lit up, as if someone had asked him to tell his greatest secret. "I want to be an astronaut one day, or maybe build rockets like NASA, but first I need to save up for a science kit so I can start learning more. My mom says dreams take hard work." Elon felt a wave of nostalgia wash over him. He remembered when he was young, filled with that same unquenchable thirst for knowledge, that desire to push beyond the boundaries of what seemed possible. Oliver was the kind of dreamer Elon had been at his age, the kind of dreamer he had once been. Oliver's words struck a chord with Elon. Here was a boy, no older than 9, with a dream that reached beyond the stars themselves. It wasn't just about lemonade or small-time earnings. It was about something far more profound. This was a child who saw the future, who believed he could be a part of something that mattered. His dream was audacious, and for a moment, Elon saw the world through Oliver's eyes. "I want to be an astronaut," Oliver repeated, as if trying to convince himself just as much as Elon. "Or maybe build rockets, like NASA, or even like SpaceX. I think rockets are the coolest things ever, but I have to save up for a science kit first so I can learn more. My mom says that dreams take hard work." Elon smiled softly to himself. He understood that more than anyone. Dreams, big dreams, didn't come true by wishing alone. They took effort, sacrifice, and determination. And yet, as he looked at Oliver, he saw a young boy with that same spark of potential that had driven Elon himself to reach for the impossible. Elon picked up a plastic cup, poured himself a drink, and took a sip. The lemonade was overly sweet. The lemon-to-sugar ratio was all wrong, but none of that mattered. What mattered was Oliver's determination. It wasn't just a drink he was offering, it was hope. It was an opportunity to invest in the future of a young dreamer. "How much do you need for this science kit?" Elon asked, studying the boy's face carefully. Oliver paused, his fingers tapping rhythmically on the wooden counter as he quickly calculated. $60, he said, his voice small and uncertain. "I've made 5 so far, but I've been trying for a whole week." Elon didn't hesitate. Without a second thought, he reached into his pocket, pulling out his wallet. He took out a crisp $100 bill, more than enough to cover the science kit, and gently placed it in Oliver's small hands. Oliver's eyes widened, and his breath caught in his throat. But that's too much," he stammered, clearly overwhelmed by the generosity. I didn't think anyone would." Elon's expression softened, and he crouched down so that he was eye level with the boy. "Consider it an investment," he said quietly. "The world needs more dreamers, kid. And even more than that, it needs doers." From the doorstep of the small house just behind the stand, Oliver's mother watched, her heart swelling with emotion. She had worked tirelessly to make sure her son had everything he needed, even when times were tough. She had watched him struggle to understand why some dreams seemed so far away, and she had done her best to instill in him the belief that he could achieve anything if he just worked hard enough. But she had never imagined that someone like Elon Musk, a man whose name was synonymous with space exploration and innovation, would see the value in her son's dream. She wiped away a tear as she stood quietly, observing the exchange between Elon and Oliver. It was a moment of profound impact, one that neither of them would ever forget. But Elon wasn't done. He stood up and with a spark of excitement in his eyes asked, "What if we make this bigger? You have a business here, Oliver. Every business can grow. Imagine what you could do with more support. Maybe you could help other kids who want to dream big like you." Together, they began to brainstorm. They discussed ideas, ways to expand the business. Elon pulled out his phone and began typing quickly, sending a tweet that would change everything. "Just met a young entrepreneur with big dreams. Help Oliver build his future. Lemonade to launch." The tweet went viral almost immediately. News outlets picked up the story, and within hours, donations poured in from strangers across the world. Local businesses offered to help, schools reached out with scholarships, and even astronauts sent messages of encouragement. Elon's support for Oliver's lemonade stand wasn't just about the money. It was a symbol of belief in something much bigger, the idea that anyone, no matter their age or background, could make a difference if they had the right resources and support. Oliver's small lemonade stand quickly transformed. With Elon's help, they built a professional, solar-powered stand that could run off the grid, and it was branded Oliver's Galactic Lemonade. The profits from the stand were now going toward funding STEM education for underprivileged children, a cause that Oliver himself had suggested. Weeks later, Elon received a letter. It was from Oliver, now the proud owner of a telescope and an array of science books, his handwriting uneven but sincere. Dear Mr. Musk, thank you for believing in me. I promise I won't waste this chance. One day I'll build a rocket and I'll make sure it carries the name Musk somewhere on it. You helped me reach the stars. I won't forget it. Elon sat back in his chair, staring at the letter for a long time. A rare tear slipped down his cheek. He had spent his entire life reaching for the impossible, but in that moment, he realized something profound. Sometimes the biggest impact doesn't come from building rockets. Sometimes it comes from lifting someone else toward the stars. And in that moment, Elon knew he had made a difference. He had helped a young dreamer take his first step toward the stars. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, don't miss the next story. A new story awaits you every evening.